Okay. Shalom, shalom, Akim. Hey, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Habakakadash.
Harakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders and teachers of great millstone that rule well and teach well. It's Brother Yahushai Zion here with the brother.
Brother Kassad, Shalom.
And we're just going to do this really quick message and lesson, all right? So let's get it, man. First off, man, let's get Psalm 83 and talk about the fact that, we were going to be, it was a prophecy that we wouldn't know exactly what was going on, who we were, and we had to be told, you see what I'm saying, through years of slavery and things of this nature. The oppressor, obviously took and stole the land of America. That's no surprise. That's no secret or whatever to everybody. We know that. And then the human races was also races, as they call it, in terminology of skin color and physiological characteristics was all divided. And we're going to go into that or whatever. But let's go with the scripture real quick to give a basis point of what's going on about these 5 categories of why this happened and who did it. Go ahead.
This is Psalm chapter 83, verse 1, and it reads, it says, keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That's right. Israel will be no more in remembrance. Instead, these people who were responsible for this while you were in slavery, by the way, let's not forget, you were in slavery currently, okay? You were kicked out of your land, conquered and enslaved, all right, at this time. So we're going to get this, man, and bring it all out. So let me see here. In antiquity, it says categorization of racial groups by reference to skin color is common in classical antiquity. Antiquity means the past. It says, for example, it is found in Physiogenomica, a Greek treatise dated to 300 BC times. It says the transmission of color terminology for race from antiquity to early anthropology in 17th century Europe took place via rabbinical literature. So bear in mind, these Edomites did it back in the past. Then they went into a whole, basically a captive state, pretty much. They were not in power for about 1,000 years. They call that the Dark Ages. Nothing's really talked about. No significant anything happened in that time, right? And as soon as they came out, they did it again. So they basically, man, like, give me that scripture, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. So they did the color terminology for skin color and race and whatever back in the 300 BC. And as soon as they came out of their little state or whatever, conquered America, they did the shit again. All right.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9, and it reads, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
That's right. Absolutely. No new thing under the sun. Keep going.
Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath already been of old time, which was before us.
That's right, man. You see? So it says here, the division in Rabbi Eliezer and the other rabbinical text is received by Georgius Hornius, 1666. In Hornius's scheme, the Japhites, identified as Scythians an Iranic group, ethnic group of the Celts, and Celts are the white Albos, and Ethiopians and Chaime, okay, or Chem, or whatever, are black. That's where they get that Kemet shit. Chum, okay? So it says here, Negroes and Indians and Semites are brownish yellow. Okay, but this is just what they saying, Akim, okay? I'm not corroborating none of this shit. I'm just saying this is what they saying right here on Wikipedia for terminology of race. I'm reading what they got over here. It says, while Jews following Mishnah Sanhedrin are exempt from classification being neither black nor white, but light brown.
What?
Bucks is the color of boxwood. So it's just, this it's very convenient, man. So anyway, let's keep going. So it says early modern physical anthropology. In the 1730s, Carl Linnaeus, in his introduction of systematic taxonomy, recognized 4 main human subspecies, termed Americanus, which is Americans, Europeus, which is Europeans, Asiaticus, which is Asians. Now let me stop right there real quick, man. Asiaticus was a Roman general, man. Okay, give me that scripture that says they would name the land after their name. They call their lands after their name. Okay. Because that's important to know. They're going to call their lands after their name. And that's one part of the classification system. The Asians were labeled that. Okay. Really, Oriental goes from that word Ori, which means from the east. Okay. They're the people from the far east. And that's exactly where the Moabites went. They were driven out into that land. So it says, anyways, black hair. Okay, let me keep going. The physical appearance. Oh, whoops. It says in Afar, which is Africans. The physical appearance of each type is briefly described, including color adjectives referring to skin and hair color. Rufus, red, and pilis, nigris, black hair for Americans. Albus, which means white, and pilis, flavicentipus, which is yellowish hair for Europeans. Luridus, yellowish, sallow. Pilis nigrincontibus. Now, these are all from Latin origin. It says swarthy hair for Asians and nigger black. That's what they say. It says atris, color, coal black hair for Africans. All right, which we know this is all a bunch of BS and bullshit, but I'm reading it out. This is what it says. It says the views of John Frederick Blumenbach on the categorization of the major races of mankind developed over the course of the 1770s to 1820s. Now, bear in mind, your ass was in slavery, okay? You were in slavery when they told you what it was, okay? We're going to tell you what you are. And this is all going to Deuteronomy 28, where it says, that this would happen. You would go into chains, fetters of iron, and everything like that. You could bring that up, brother, real quick.
I got that scripture where you talk about calling lands after their name as well.
Yeah, get that one real quick, and then we'll get the one in Deuteronomy 28, because these are curses that are upon our people.
This is Psalm chapter 49, verse 11, and it reads, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call all their lands after their own names.
That's right. That's why the Asians were classified as Asiaticus, okay? Because that's literally a Roman general. You can look him up right now. Asiaticus, all right? He's part of that. He's part of that system. And you're falling hook, line, and sinker. You know what I mean? So let's keep it moving and let's get that other scripture.
All right,
All
so
right. While you're doing that, I'm going to
Deuteronomy.
do this.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep talking about this. So it says the views of Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, who was a German physician, naturalist, physiologist, and anthropologist. He is considered to be the main founder of zoology and anthropology as cooperative scientific disciplines. He was also important as a race theorist. So it was a guess. He didn't know. A theory is a guess, man. So this man told your stupid asses that you're black, Hispanic, Caucasian, whatever the hell he told you, just by the color of your skin. And what did the Lord say? He said, judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. That's not how the Lord classifies people. Well, you black, you're going to go with the blacks. You browns, you're going to go with the browns. You're other, we don't know what the hell you are, but you kind of, you don't look either one of those. So you go over there in that pile. That's not how the Lord classifies people, man. It's by the seed line. And pause that right there and go to Numbers 1 and 18. And we're going to show you that how this really goes down. The way that the Lord classifies people and whatnot. Because you're the seed of your father, man. You're not mixed. Or, yeah, I'm German, Italian, Spanish, and a Native American. No, you're not, you jackass. Go ahead and read that out.
This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18, and it reads, And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees of their families, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according,
right.
according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls.
That's right. So that's how it's supposed to be done. Not listening to these stupid race theorists, the guys who are playing a guessing game of who the hell you really are. All right. Johann Friedrich Blumenbach is the reason why your simple ass is been, and really also by biblical prophecy, Psalm 83. That's why you're saying, yo, I'm a black son. I'm saying I'm black. I'm always black. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. You got these people just completely lost. James Brown, he's through, and he was always through. And Muhammad Ali, through. That's why them guys, ended up, whatever. He ended up getting a disease or whatever. So-called, really his name is goddamn Cassius. Cassius is going to fuck off. All right, excuse my language. But he's going off, calling himself Muhammad, following other doctrines and philosophies. That's why he got cursed by the Lord. Because a lot of people became that because of him, following him. All right? When he's an Israelite. He probably from the tribe of Judah, or he's a Gadite. One of those two. All right? All right, so let's go here, continuing on. Just says he introduced a fourfold division in 1775, when your ass was in slavery and driven out of your land, by the way, you Native Americans and so-called blacks. You was driven out of your land and you was in slavery by chattel slavery. Okay, bear in mind. But they told you who you are. It says extended to 5 in 1779. Later born out of his work of craniology. All right, which craniology says phrenology. It says is pseudoscience, which involves the measurement of bumps on the skull and predict mental traits. It says it is based on the concept that the brain is the organ of the mind and that certain brain's areas have localized specific functions or modules. Okay, so basically trying to, craniology and things like that. That's what it's derived from, your cranium and the way that your skull is shaped, which that does play some type of part. When you look at the Egyptian skulls and then you look at the Israelites' skulls, who were the slaves over there, they were not the same people, okay? Back in antiquity, and the different archaeologists that looked up, the Egyptians and the ones that are in the tombs, and then you looked at the slaves or whatever, they were totally different people. So you're not African, okay? That's a bullshit lie that's been just perpetuated heavy, and you ate it all up. Yeah. And it was got shit spilling all over, all that spewage all over your ass because of the prophecy. And the Lord decided to blind you because of your disobedience and your witchcraft and sorcery and idolatry mainly. That's the reason why the Lord put you in that captive state, and to wipe out the name of Israel basically from your remembrance. Okay, for a
I got a
time
scripture.
being, you were supposed to be brought down like that. All right. So you can't tell me that BS of, oh, well, we don't know who the Israelites are today. Well, hold on. There's more than just the Jews over there. All right. There's more than one tribe. So where did they all go? They just disappeared. We know the scriptures say there's no end to the people. The scripture says there is no end to the people. All right. So let's keep going real quick. And you got that scripture about the slavery?
I have a couple scriptures as well.
Get
Yeah,
the
I
one
got
in Deuteronomy 28 about if you disobey, your ass is going in slavery.
do you want 15 or do you want all? I got the
Deuteronomy 28, just a little bit down more, but you keep looking around. So it says here, Blumenbach does not name his 5 groups in 1779, but gives their geographic distribution. The color adjectives used in 1779 are Weiss, which is white, Caucasian race. It says is an obsolete, this is the definition that they put, an obsolete racial classification of human beings based on a now disproven theory of biological race. The Caucasian race was historically regarded as the biological taxon, which, depending on which of the historical race classifications was being used, usually included ancient and modern, and it goes on to describe that. Let me try to go into a new tab for that, so we can keep going with that. Okay, it says ancient and modern populations from all or parts of Europe, Western Asia, Central Asia, South Asia, North Africa, and the Horn of Africa. It says first introduced in the 1780s by members of the Göttingen School of History. And those people were historians associated with the particular style of historiography, located at the University of Göttingen in the late 18th century. Again, you're probably in slavery around there. But once again, this group of historians played an important role in creating scientific basis for historical research. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back to that. Let's go. Bring it on back. Okay. All right, back to that Blumenbach's division of choice color adjectives and things of this nature, man. So we're just doing like a live study session, brothers, and you can, take what you want from it. So it says here, Blumenbach's division and choice of color adjectives remained influential throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, with variation depending on author. René Lessin, it says, was a French surgeon, naturalist, ornithologist, and herpetologist. So you guys are making up words, man. It says in 1847, presented a division into 6 groups based on simple color adjectives: white, which is Caucasian; dusky, Indian; orange colored, Malay; yellow, Mongoloid, which that's folly; red, Carib, and American, which they're really talking about white people. That's why they call you red-blooded Americans; black, Negroid. Okay, according to Barkus, 2006, it was the adoption of both the color terminology and French term race by Immanuel Kant in 1775. Again, who was a German philosopher, basically a goddamn Edomite, okay? And one of the central Enlightenment thinkers. Born in Königsberg, Kant's comprehensive and systematic works in epistemology, which I believe is historical facts and things, metaphysics, ethics, and aesthetics have made him an influential figure in modern, and I believe it says history. So that's why you're calling yourself black. And it's literally a prophecy in the scriptures that you were supposed to say that. Give me that scripture in Deuteronomy 28.
All right, I got Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Yep.
And
And you did serve other gods.
Yep.
You damn sure did serve other gods and wood and stone. And you did all those things, man. All right. You were setting up all types of different things, man. Because you're going off. And the Lord's going to have to deal with you, man. He's going to have to deal with you, man, on that level, because you refuse to hearken unto the voice of the Lord, and you know what's about to happen, man. All right. All those curses are going to come upon you. That's why you can't identify with your power. You can't identify as who you are. You're an Israelite. All right. If you so-called black man, you are really an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Okay. Yahweh Da. And if you are a so-called Native American, all right, you are from the tribe of Gad, man. The scriptures talked about the troop shall overcome him. And that's what happened. The troop did come over here and overcome you and kicked you out of your land, all right? All right, hold on 1 second, Knocking. Keep going, brother, with that scripture.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65, and it reads, And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and a sorrow of mind. And thy life shall,
Yep, that the sorrow of mind. That's why, and if you don't know who you are, man, it's like you have amnesia. You are confused, man. Okay. And it says here, minors did not include the Jews as Caucasians and ascribed them a permanently degenerate nature. See, that's wild as hell. It says 19th century writers who believed in the Caucasian hypothesis and noted that Julian Viry, okay, were well-known supporters of the idea that Europeans came from the Mount Caucasus. Right. And they were in the mountains, you know. They were from the mountains because they was driven up there from the Israelites whooping their ass. Okay. And the racial categories stemmed all the way back to 1945. And then there's so much more on that, brothers. This is just a part one, man. We're going to go into more, man. I don't want to force feed too much because that's what I'm going to stop doing. All right. I'm going to stop going all long or whatever because, you know, Israel, they can't even handle 5 minutes, man. The average view is 5 minutes. And then let's see what's on TV. They can't handle it. So this part one, Lord willing, this was edifying. Just a few things, man. We'll go into more and do a part two, Lord willing. Okay, Yahweh Ratazah, man. And with that, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem
Hakadash, man. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the Bayah Fawadah, the house of David. Until next time, Shalom.
Shalom, my Bible.
This is part one.